It's a really scary time for the job market. Specifically, we're talking about job security. Now, let's not get started on those that are looking for a job or the recent grads. I have a hypothesis that you might be in a better situation than you think. But before we even get there, what we're not going to do is go into a panic. Let's have an honest conversation, get yourself a beverage, and let's get into it. As someone that is surviving in this environment, but isn't taking it for granted, I'm not hearing enough of this on the internet. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the current workplace and what I'm doing to future-proof myself. First thing, doesn't matter what industry you're in. I have friends in all types of industries. We are all going through it. There is no job security. What about mid-career professionals like me in your early 30s? We have to have a strategy, whether you're at the beginning of your career or you're a late-stage professional. Being highly specialized isn't job safety anymore. As we've seen in all the rounds of tech layoffs, all the engineers are now being outsourced to cheaper regions, or they're just straight up being replaced by AI technology. And they're not the only ones. Middle management and people in higher executive roles have been laid off first because they're the biggest paychecks. It's cheaper to have people that don't have those titles do the same job. Last year, I took on 2 titles at once. I'm not unique to this. I've seen it across other companies as well. If you're faced with a situation like this, you shouldn't feel helpless. I did renegotiate my payment terms because when your job description changes, you better negotiate. If this is happening to you, what I would advise is that you renegotiate your contract terms, because when your job description changes, you want to change it officially as well. This is a great time for you to negotiate more salary, maybe a bonus, maybe a commission structure if there's no flexibility with your salary change. Don't ever simply settle. You may see other people doing that in the same position as you, but that doesn't mean that you have to model after them. If you find yourself in this situation where you're taking on a multiple person workload and your title isn't officially changing, don't be discouraged. Use it as an opportunity for you to practice negotiating and positioning yourself. Now, you might say, oh, Chris, well, it's a risky market right now and everyone's losing their job. Very true. And there's a reason why you're still here right now. You are capable. There might be things that you have to figure out that you haven't done before, but clearly people need you. Show them that you're invested. Tell them that you're excited, even if you're terrified of all the work that's not put in front of you. Give them the confidence and the energy that your leadership need right now desperately, because everyone's scared and complaining to them. If they say no, you're right where you are right now. You have nothing to lose. Don't be afraid to let people know that you know your worth. If they say no now, say no problem. When can we rediscuss? What are the timelines? Reaffirm that you have the kind of energy they need to take on this new workplace environment. The workplace disruption that we're going through right now has especially shown us to remember how important it is to be a human. Anna Wintour was quoted saying years ago that the future of Vogue, of whoever they would hire, would be these people that have multiple interests, these people that pursue various passions, not just fashion, someone that's also into farming, also into physics, someone that is multi-talented across different fields and actually pursues and practices these different passions. Vogue, the magazine, may seem really chic and cool, but it runs like a Swiss Army knife. People that have those interdisciplines can think outside the box because they exercise different aspects of their being. Their brain is designed by them to be more curious than a person that specializes only in one lane. Would you rather hire someone that can operate on an assembly line only in their category, or someone that is flexible and can handle changes like the disruption that we're being faced with right now? This is the time where you get to shine. You get to show how adaptable you are. I've dealt with structural changes every single year for the past 4 years. On top of that, all the disruption that's going on right now has led to layoffs basically every 6 months. It means more responsibilities, dealing with people that are discouraged and become lazy because everything's a mess and it's hard to figure out how to even do your job when everything's always changing or people are leaving or being fired. You have to take on this attitude of, I can do it. I can help. Doing things that are not in your job description. It doesn't have to be miserable either. This is where you have the opportunity to shine while everyone else is so exhausted. You get to be that person that shows up to the meeting and has that energy that is focused on them. Everyone's so focused on themselves. Coming in contact with an individual that seems positive is such a refreshing part of their day that they don't forget you. People may forget what you say, but they don't forget how you make them feel. One of my superpowers, especially at this time, is I'm so connected. I'm so connected on the ground to people that work in delivery, our clinician team, our data team. And why is that? They trust to go behind the scenes with them. Having visibility into how the machine operates is power, because information is power. Now you have the power to pull in whoever you need, whenever, because they're willing to show up for you, to help you do your job better, to speak positively of you when you're not in the room. And that's something that people are not doing right now because everyone's in survival mode. Make yourself stand out by being less selfish than everyone else. Wake up and know, oh, I have the missing link here. I have the perspective that no one else has, because you're not focused solely on survival. You know that you can produce. Have empathy, because we're all going through it. If you can act like a leader when managers are failing to act like a leader, you're gonna have the trust of individuals on a different level. I've had people come to me on my manager's team asking me to help them close deals with clients that have nothing to do with me. You have the ability to have power by doing very basic things that people are incapable of doing when they are in survival mode, which takes me to the second part of this video. I am future-proofing myself, and you should too. How does that happen? One, we want to learn to use AI and not just use it as a Google search. AI is so powerful, but it is only as powerful as you know how to use it. If it's an interface like a Claude or a ChatGPT, then yes, we're putting in prompts. When you learn how to prompt effectively, then you get very effective outputs. But if you don't put in enough detail or ask the prompt to clarify with you before it actually generates, you're just gonna get generic answers. Don't use it like a Google search. That's amateur. Take some time and learn about how to create better prompts. Go and find out what kind of AI databases and platforms your industry is using right now. What's on the cutting edge? What are employees or employers leveraging? Once you find out which platforms people in your industry are using or will start using, give yourself a little boot camp. 10 hours a week for the next 7 weeks. That's all you need. You spend more time than that scrolling or watching YouTube. 20 minutes every evening. That time stacks up. Imagine where you'll be in 2 months if you do that consistently. While your peers are busy using ChatGPT and AI to generate videos on TikTok and to write their emails, you're out here refining your skills, upping your salary valuation. I have people in my network reaching out to me now because of how I've helped them over the years, asking me, do I want a job? Whenever there's an opening at companies now, they're not getting publicly listed. It's all through your network. It's through those internal referrals. People are referring people that they know performed well or are impressive. We are getting first pick. You're gonna have the opportunity to have these conversations if you do one. Part one, remember, everyone's in survival mode. Be a human, make yourself invaluable, optimism, work with an energy. And two, reach out to your network and tell them you're interested. Let people know that you're open to having conversations. No desperate energy here. Just say, hey, I'd love to explore opportunities. If you see or hear of anything that may be a good fit, and explain to them, if they don't already know, what kind of jobs or industries you're open to. The second step to future-proofing ourselves is we want to make ourselves visible online. Your digital portfolio outweighs your resume right now. And you know this, whenever you want to check someone's credibility, where do you go? Instagram. But then you go to YouTube or TikTok, maybe even X or Substack, to get a deeper dive into how a person thinks, into what it is that they have to offer, to verify credentials. The same applies to you. The way that I'm the most excited to future-proof myself in 2026 is by creating online consistently, building my digital portfolio in my personal brand. And my personal brand is not everything about me. It's focused on my close community, my community of friends, as I call it. The people that are interested on the couple topics that I will talk about. I don't want to share all my thoughts, but I want to share my thoughts on just a couple core problems. And the way that I'm going about it, both through my experience and my knowledge, but really just by messing up as well and by learning. I'm going to share that journey with you guys because I'm not going to pretend that I know it all. There's a lot that I can teach, but there's also a lot for me to share in my failings and my stumblings. And personally, I find it fun to see authentic people that have experience and don't pretend that they know it all. I'm trying not to be that person online. That's a process in itself. The hard truth to swallow is that working a corporate job hides your talent. Coming from someone with a 9 to 5 job in the corporate space, and I enjoy it and I'm grateful that I have this job. Be grateful for your job. Enjoy the freedom that it allows you. You don't have to worry about your bills. You don't have to worry about your next paycheck. Even in this crazy workplace, you currently have a job. And if you don't have a job yet, there is work that you can find. There are ways to differentiate yourself. It's just harder to penetrate than it was before. But if you listen to this video and if you can regurgitate back in the interview process, in your applications, this kind of mindset, you're going to stand out. And I know it works because I just helped my little brother get a job. I wrote out what he should say on the final interview. He had so many final interviews these past 2 years, and he couldn't make it past that final round. I typed out like 3 pages of different ways that he could approach the interview, showing that he is an initiator, that he is someone that thinks beyond the job title. They spent 2 hours talking to him when they were planning to talk to him only for 45 minutes. That's how good it went. Think outside the box. Be willing to take on responsibilities and job functions outside of your title. This is what the new workplace is demanding. And that includes creating. Creating online is something that will diversify your skill set. It will diversify your portfolio. You don't need to let your job know that you create content. Block all your colleagues, block any mutuals that you have, including real life friends, and start creating. Remove the pressure. I wish I did that when I first started posting. I did that the second time around this year, and it took a huge monkey off my back. When you start creating, you give yourself opportunities for the future to be in rooms that you currently don't have the opportunity to be in, and that you will never have the opportunity to be in if you continue just in the 9 to 5 trajectory. In just 6 months of creating short form content, I've had opportunities to be on podcasts, to go to free engagements for Pilates studios, for promotions, for events, for products, like just really fun activities that I was genuinely interested in. I didn't say yes to everything, only to the things that made sense based off what's interesting to me in my time. At the end of the day, my goal isn't to get free PR, it's to connect with a community of close friends. It's to connect with an audience and to build a brand and to eventually be able to create products and services that align with my close friends. The confidence that you can gain by learning to talk to camera, to then go into in-person events with people that you haven't interacted with before. It's only through having these experiences that you will become more confident and you'll have more trust in yourself and in what you're talking about. If you don't know what to talk about yet, a video is coming up on that. But for now, just focus on locking in. I've already created a video, 7 steps on how I'm locking in for 2026. Doesn't matter at what point of the year you see this, this is the perfect time to get started. Do not fall into that survival mindset. Stop engaging with your colleagues who are in a complaining mode. I did engage with some colleagues like that a couple years ago, and it did not make work easier. When I cut out all that noise, last year was amazing financially. And this year is going to be even better. Operate in your own lane. I'll see you in the next one. You got this.